The notification popped up while I was mindlessly scrolling through Instagram during my lunch break. There it was, my sister Lily, sprawled on a pristine beach in Bali, designer sunglasses perched on her nose, cocktail in hand. The caption read, "From deserved paradise." My stomach dropped before my brain could even process why. I'm Lindsay, and I've spent 33 years being the responsible one, the reliable one, the one who doesn't need constant validation or attention because I learned early on that I wouldn't get it anyway. "Girl, you okay?" Carson peered over my cubicle wall. "You look like you've seen a ghost." I turned my phone screen toward him. "Remember that emergency credit card I gave my parents?" His eyes widened. "No way." "Way." I pulled up my banking app, hands shaking. The charges started 5 days ago. First-class flights to Bali, luxury resort deposits, spa treatments, designer shopping sprees. $14,000 and counting. "I'm going to be sick," I muttered, gripping my desk. "Call them," Carson said. "Right now." I did. Mom answered on the third ring, her voice syrupy sweet. "Darling, what a surprise." "Mom, why is Lily in Bali on my credit card?" "Oh," a pause. "Well, sweetheart, she's been under so much stress lately. You know how hard she works at that boutique. She needed this. That card was for emergencies only. We discussed this. You agreed." "This was an emergency, Lindsay. Her mental health." "Stop." My voice came out sharper than I'd ever used with her. "A vacation is not an emergency. You had no right. Don't be selfish, dear. You make 6 figures. You can afford it. Besides, you never treat your sister to anything. The familiar guilt trip. Classic mom." I closed my eyes, remembering all the times this pattern had played out before. When they drained my first savings account for Lily's dance lessons. When they borrowed my car and let her total it. When they convinced me to co-sign Lily's apartment lease, only to have her skip town 3 months later. "Put Dad on the phone. He's busy." "Mom?" "Wallace," I heard her call. "Your daughter's being difficult again." Dad's gruff voice came through. "What's the problem now, Lindsay?" "The problem is you're stealing from me. Again." "Don't be dramatic. We're family. Family helps each other." "Family doesn't commit credit card fraud," he scoffed. "Fraud? We raised you, put a roof over your head, sent you to college. I paid my own way through college. I worked 3 jobs while Lily got a free ride." "Here we go again with the jealousy," Mom chimed in. "I thought you'd outgrown this phase." My hand tightened around the phone. 20 years of therapy had taught me to recognize this game. The gaslighting, the manipulation, the way they twisted everything to make me the villain. "Listen carefully," I said, my voice eerily calm. "You have 24 hours to get Lily on a flight home and pay back every cent, or I'm reporting this as fraud." "You wouldn't dare," Mom whispered. "Try me." "After everything we've done for you?" Dad's voice rose. "This is how you repay us?" I laughed, a hollow, broken sound. "Repay you? For what? The emotional neglect? The financial abuse? Making me feel like I was never good enough?" "Drama queen," Lily's voice suddenly joined the call. "Just because you're jealous of my vacation." "Are jealous?" I stood up, ignoring the concerned looks from my coworkers. "I'm not jealous, Lily. I'm done. Done being the family ATM. Done watching you all take advantage of my success while treating me like garbage. Done pretending we're a normal family when we're anything but." "Lindsay," Mom's voice turned pleading, "let's not be hasty. We can work something out." "No, we can't." I took a deep breath. Enjoy paradise while it lasts. I hung up and immediately opened my banking app. Carson watched as I navigated to the card services section. "You sure about this?" he asked quietly. Another Instagram notification. Lily lounging by an infinity pool. Mop blessed. Family first. I clicked cancel card without hesitation. They made their choice, I said, watching the confirmation screen load. Now they can live with it. Carson squeezed my shoulder. Karma's a bitch. No, I replied, picking up my phone to call the fraud department. I am. The bank's fraud department put me on hold, and I used those minutes to screenshot every single charge. First-class tickets, $4,180. Resort deposit, $3,500. Day spa packages, $1,200. The numbers kept climbing, each one a fresh slap in the face. You should see what else she's posting, Carson said, still scrolling through Instagram. Heidi just shared a story of them getting matching designer bags. I leaned over to look. There was my sister, holding up a cream-colored leather bag that probably cost more than my monthly mortgage payment. The caption read, "Shopping therapy with my bestie. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for the early birthday surprise." The hold music cut off. This is Max from the fraud department. How can I assist you today? I straightened in my chair. I need to report unauthorized charges on my credit card. Can you describe the situation? I gave my parents an emergency-only credit card. They're currently using it to fund my sister's luxury vacation in Bali. I never authorized this. I see the charges here. Keys clicked in the background. That's substantial spending. Have you contacted the cardholders? Yes. They refuse to stop or pay it back. And you want to press charges? The question hung in the air. Carson raised an eyebrow at me. Yes, I said firmly. I want to press charges. Max's tone turned professional. I'll freeze the card immediately and open an investigation. You'll need to file a formal dispute for each charge. Given the amount and relationship involved, this may lead to criminal proceedings. Are you prepared for that? Absolutely. My phone buzzed with texts while Max walked me through the procedure. I ignored them all. The card is now frozen, Max said. Any pending charges will be declined. I'm sending you dispute forms now. Please complete them within 24 hours. Thank you. I hung up and finally looked at my messages. Mom, Lindsay, the card isn't working. Fix it immediately. Mom, this is childish behavior. Mom, your sister is stranded. Lily, WTF? My spa appointment was rejected. Dad, call me now. They're panicking, I told Carson, showing him the messages. Good, he said. Let them squirm. My phone rang. Dad again. I answered and put it on speaker. What the hell do you think you're doing? He demanded. Exactly what I said I would. The card is canceled and I've reported it as fraud. You ungrateful little... He caught himself. Do you have any idea what this will do to our credit? Probably the same thing you did to mine when I was 17. I shot back. Remember that credit card you opened in my name? The one I didn't know about until collectors started calling? That was different. How? How was it different? We needed it for Lily's dance competition. Of course you did. I laughed bitterly. It's always about Lily, Mom's voice cut in. The hotel is threatening to call the police if we don't pay. Is that what you want? Your sister in a foreign jail? Should have thought about that before stealing from me. We didn't steal, Lily shrieked in the background. Mom and Dad said it was okay. They lied, just like they always do. Please, Mom's voice turned sugary. We can work this out as a family. Just unfreeze the card and we'll discuss repayment when we get home. No discussion needed. The bank's fraud department is handling it now. You called the bank? Dad's voice shook with rage. After everything we've sacrificed for you. Sacrificed? The word hit a nerve. What exactly have you sacrificed? Because from where I'm sitting, I'm the only one who's ever sacrificed anything in this family. That's not fair. Fair? I stood up, pacing my office. You want to talk about fair? Was it fair when you emptied my college fund for Lily's car? Was it fair when you forged my signature on loan documents? Was it fair when you... Enough! Dad roared. You fix this right now, or you're no longer part of this family. The threat hung there. Decades of manipulation distilled into 9 words. In the past, it would have worked. I would have caved, fixed everything, apologized for being difficult. Not today. You can't fire me from a job I quit 20 years ago, I said quietly. Enjoy explaining this to the fraud investigators. I hung up and blocked their numbers. You okay? Carson asked softly. My phone dinged with an email notification. Max from the bank. Fraud investigation case. Dear 2847. Official notice. No, I replied, opening the email. But I will be. I left work early, my laptop tucked under my arm and a plan forming in my mind. Carson followed me to my car. You're not done, are you? He asked, watching me pull up the resort's website. Not even close. I dialed the international number for the Paradise Bay Resort, Bali. After 3 rings, a polished voice answered, Paradise Bay Resort. This is Eric speaking. How may I assist you? Hi, Eric. I'm calling about guests staying at your resort, Virginia and Wallace, with their daughter Lily. I'm the card holder whose credit card they're using. Yes, we've had some issues with their payments today. That's because they're using my card fraudulently. I've already filed reports with my bank, but I wanted to give you a heads up directly. There was a pause. I see. This is concerning. Would you be willing to email me the documentation? Already composing it. I balanced my phone while typing. I'm sending proof of card ownership, the fraud report number, and screenshots of them admitting they used it without authorization. Much appreciated. We take fraud very seriously here. I'm sure you do, which is why I thought you should know. They're planning to skip out on the remaining balance. They have a history of this. Eric's voice turned sharp. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We'll handle it immediately. After hanging up, I turned to Carson. That should get the ball rolling. You're scary when you're strategic, he said, half admiring, half concerned. What's next? Now we wait. We didn't wait long. Within an hour, Heidi's Instagram stories provided live updates. OMG, so awkward. Management just confronted them at dinner. Followed by, security's involved now. This is insane. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown international number. How dare you embarrass us like this? The hotel manager is threatening legal action. Mom, I blocked that number too. Carson came over that evening with wine and takeout. We sat on my couch, watching the chaos unfold through social media updates. Look at this one, he said, showing me Lily's latest post. When people you trust show their true colors. Hard betrayed toxic a family. Rich, coming from her. I took a long sip of wine. She's posted 3 times about being betrayed, but nothing about stealing 14 grand. The comments are turning against them, though. People are asking questions. He was right. Under Lily's latest post, her followers weren't buying the victim act. Wait, didn't you say this was a gift from your parents? Using someone else's credit card isn't cool. This is fraud, girl. My email pinged. Another message from Max at the bank. Additional charges attempted and declined. Documentation needed for criminal investigation. Criminal investigation, Carson repeated slowly. Lynn, are you sure you want to take it this far? I pulled out my old journal from the bookshelf, flipping to the pages where I documented every financial abuse from my teenage years. They took out loans in my name when I was 17, opened credit cards, ruined my credit before I could even start building it. It took me years to fix the damage. I remember. You lived on ramen while working 3 jobs. Meanwhile, they bought Lily a car, paid for her dance classes, funded her influencer lifestyle. I closed the journal. They're not stopping, Carson. They never have. Someone has to make them. My phone buzzed. Eric from the resort. Ms. Lindsay, we've contained the situation. Your parents are being moved to a holding room until payment arrangements are made. We've also notified local authorities about potential fraud. Thank you, Eric. Please send any documentation to the email I provided. Already done, and, if I may say, I've dealt with many family fraud cases. You're doing the right thing. After hanging up, I curled deeper into my couch, suddenly exhausted. Why doesn't it feel right then? Carson topped off my wine. Because you're a good person who was forced to do something hard. But sometimes hard things are necessary. They're going to hate me forever. They already hated who you really were. They just loved what they could take from you. My phone lit up with another blocked message, somehow getting through. You've ruined everything. I hope you're happy. You've destroyed this family. I deleted it without responding. You know what the worst part is? I told Carson, staring at my wine glass. Part of me still wishes they'd just say sorry. Mean it for once. Choose me for once. That's not the worst part, he said gently. The worst part is that they never will, and you're finally accepting that. Another email from Max. Investigation proceeding. Prepare for formal statements. No turning back now, I whispered. Carson squeezed my hand. Good. The next morning, my phone exploded with notifications. Heidi's Instagram stories told the whole saga. Security just deactivated their room keys. Lily's crying in the lobby. This is so messy. They're saying they have to leave today. I scrolled through while making coffee, each update more dramatic than the last. Then came Lily's own post, a tearful selfie in the resort's marble bathroom. When your own sister betrays you. But mom and dad still have my back. Some people are just jealous of others' happiness. Toxic, narcissistic sibling. The comments were brutal. Girl, you stole from her. Using someone's credit card without permission is literally a crime. The audacity to play victim after committing fraud. My work phone rang. Max from the bank. Morning, Lindsay. We've got some developments. The resort sent over their documentation, including security footage of your parents explicitly claiming to be you when they first checked in. I nearly dropped my coffee. They what? Your mother presented herself as Lindsay at check-in. That elevates this from unauthorized use to identity theft. Jesus Christ. There's more. We found a pattern of similar behavior dating back several years. Different cards, different banks. You're not their first victim. The room spun slightly. What are you saying? I'm saying this is now a federal investigation. An agent will contact you today. I sat down hard on my kitchen stool. Will they go to jail? That depends on the prosecutor, but with the multiple instances of fraud and identity theft, it's possible. After hanging up, I called Carson. They pretended to be me, I said when he answered. At the resort? They actually pretended to be me. Holy shit. Max says it's going federal. They might go to jail. Lynn, his voice was careful. Are you okay? Before I could answer, my email pinged. A message from Eric. Your parents are causing a scene in the lobby. They're demanding to stay until their original checkout date, claiming you're mentally unstable and making false accusations. We've called local authorities. Would you like to press additional charges for defamation? I forwarded the email to Max without responding. My phone buzzed with a voicemail from Mom. Against my better judgment, I played it. Lindsay, they're treating us like criminals. Your father's blood pressure is through the roof. If anything happens to him, it's on your head. How could you do this to your own family? After everything we've sacrificed, Lily's absolutely devastated. Her followers are attacking her because of your lies. Call me back immediately and fix this mess. Delete. Another voicemail from Dad. You think you're clever, don't you? Getting the feds involved? Just wait until everyone knows what an ungrateful, spiteful daughter you really are. You're dead to us. Dead. Delete. A text from Lily. My sponsorship deals are tanking BC of you. Hope are happy now that you've ruined my career. Mom and Dad should have left you at the hospital. Block. Carson arrived at my apartment 20 minutes later with breakfast burritos and coffee. Eat, he ordered. You look like hell. Thanks, I muttered, unwrapping a burrito. Have you seen the latest? He pulled up Heidi's stories. My parents being escorted out by resort security, Lily wailing dramatically in the background, designer luggage scattered across the lobby floor. At least they're getting content out of it, I said dryly. Lynn. Carson put down his phone. This is bigger than we thought. If the feds are involved. I know. I pushed my burrito away. But what was I supposed to do? Let them keep stealing from me? Keep pretending to be me? No, but... My phone rang. Unknown number. This is Special Agent Roberts with the FBI's Financial Crimes Unit. Am I speaking with Lindsay? I caught Carson's eye as I answered. Yes, this is Lindsay. We've received concerning documentation from your bank regarding multiple instances of identity theft and credit card fraud. Are you willing to make a formal statement? I thought about every maxed out card, every drained account, every time they'd smiled while stealing my future, every time they'd called me selfish for saying no, every time they'd chosen Lily. Yes, I said firmly. I'll tell you everything. Carson reached across the table and squeezed my hand as I began to speak. On my laptop, Heidi posted one final update. Cops just showed up. This isn't about credit cards anymore. Something way bigger is happening. She had no idea. 3 days after my parents' forced exodus from Bali, a courier delivered a thick envelope to my office. Inside was a cease and desist letter from their lawyer, demanding I cease all defamatory statements and malicious actions against the family. I was still reading when Carson burst into my office. Have you seen the news? He held up his phone, showing a local news website. The headline made my stomach drop. Local influencers' parents arrested in multi-state financial fraud investigation. Holy shit, I whispered. It gets better. He scrolled down. They found evidence of at least 12 other victims. Credit card fraud, identity theft, loan scams. They've been doing this for years. My desk phone rang. Agent Roberts. Your parents were arrested this morning, she said without preamble. We found documents in their home indicating a pattern of financial fraud dating back 2 decades. Multiple victims, including several family members. I gripped the phone tighter. How much? Initial estimates suggest over $300,000. The room tilted slightly. Carson steadied my chair. We'll need you to come in, Agent Roberts continued. There's something else. We found credit applications in your name from as recently as last month. What? But I've been monitoring my credit. They hadn't submitted them yet. Looks like they were planning something big. After hanging up, I showed Carson the cease and desist letter. Guess this is pretty useless now. Lindsay! A shrill voice made us both jump. Lily stood in my office doorway, mascara streaking down her face. How could you? How could I? I stood up slowly. How could you? They're our parents. She stormed in, throwing her designer bag onto my desk. The police took Dad's passport. Mom's in jail. Everyone's talking about it online. Maybe they shouldn't have committed federal crimes. They were trying to help me, Lily shrieked. My career was taking off. I needed... You needed? I cut her off. You needed to steal from me? To let them destroy my credit? To watch them pretend to be me? You're just jealous because they love me more. The office went dead silent. Even Lily seemed shocked by her words. You're right, I said quietly. They do love you more. They love you so much they committed felonies for you. And now they're going to prison for it. This is all your fault. She jabbed a finger at me. You could have just helped me. That's what family does. Family doesn't steal from each other. Family doesn't commit fraud. Family doesn't... Miss? My assistant poked her head in. There's a Detective Martinez here to see you. A tall woman in a suit entered, badge visible on her belt. Lily, we need you to come with us. We have some questions about your involvement in your parents' financial schemes. Lily's face went white. What? No, I didn't. Lindsay, tell them. I sat back down at my desk. I think you should go with the detective, Lily. But I'm your sister. Yes, I met her eyes. You are, and that's why this hurts so much. Detective Martinez gently took Lily's arm. Let's go, miss. I hate you, Lily screamed as she was let out. I hate you. You've ruined everything. Carson closed my office door, muffling her continued shrieks. You okay? No. I picked up my phone. Dozens of missed calls from relatives, former family friends, my parents' lawyer. But I will be. A new email popped up from Max at the bank. Federal investigators found evidence of extensive fraud. Your parents' accounts have been frozen. Given your status as primary victim, would you like to pursue additional civil charges? What are you going to do? Carson asked. I thought about 17-year-old me, crying over destroyed credit, about working 3 jobs while Lily got everything handed to her, about every time they'd smiled while taking more. I'm going to tell the truth, I said, hitting reply. All of it. My phone buzzed with a text from Mom, somehow from a new number. We'll never forgive you for this. You've destroyed this family. I typed back one final message before blocking the number. No, Mom. You destroyed this family. I just exposed it. Carson squeezed my shoulder as I pressed send. Karma's finally catching up. Yeah, I said, watching Lily being escorted into a police car through my office window. It really is. The FBI's Financial Crimes Office was cold and sterile. Agent Roberts spread dozens of documents across the metal table while Carson sat beside me for support. These are credit card applications in your name from when you were 17. She pointed to a stack. Your mother's handwriting, your father's fingerprints. But here's where it gets interesting. She played an audio file from her laptop. Mom's voice filled the room. Of course we'll pay it back, just like we did with Lindsay's cards. She never even knew about most of them. So trusting. That girl. My hands started shaking. Carson gripped my arm. This was recorded last month, Agent Roberts explained. A wiretap from another investigation caught them planning their next scheme. They were discussing it with someone else. Who? Your sister. She slid over a transcript. Lily was more involved than we initially thought. She knew about the fraud since she was 16, sometimes helped orchestrate it. I scanned the transcript, my vision blurring. Lily, just use Lindsay's info again. She never checks her credit report anyway. Virginia, we already opened 2 cards this month. Lily, so? She makes enough to cover it. Besides, she owes me after that sponsorship deal fell through. There's more, Agent Roberts continued. We found a storage unit in your father's name. Inside were boxes of financial documents spanning 20 years. Credit cards, loans, even mortgage applications, all using stolen identities. She pushed forward more papers. Most victims were family members. Your Aunt Margaret, your cousin Robert, even your grandmother. Grandma Rose. My voice cracked. She died thinking she'd somehow racked up $50,000 in debt. They took advantage of her dementia, Agent Roberts confirmed, used her information to open multiple accounts. Carson muttered something under his breath that sounded like monsters. We need your help. Agent Roberts leaned forward. These documents prove decades of systematic fraud, but your testimony could ensure maximum sentences. Are you willing to testify? Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. A voicemail from an unknown number. I played it on speaker. Lindsay, it's Aunt Paula. I just found out about everything. I'm so sorry. I should have believed you years ago when you said something wasn't right with their spending. They did the same thing to me. Maxed out cards in my name. I was too ashamed to tell anyone. Please call me back. Delete. Another message played automatically. Hey, it's Cousin Robert. Just learned about the investigation. Can't believe they used Grandma Rose like that. She died thinking she'd failed us all. Call me if you need anything. We're all behind you. Delete. The messages kept coming. Family members, one after another, sharing similar stories. Each one a thread in a tapestry of lies and manipulation. They destroyed so many lives, I whispered. Yes, Agent Roberts agreed. But you can help stop them. My phone lit up with a news alert. Local influencer Lily arrested as co-conspirator in family fraud scheme. Below it was her last Instagram post, made just before her arrest. The truth will come out. My sister is just jealous and vindictive. Kraus, free my parents. The comments were merciless. Girl, you helped steal from your own grandmother. Hope you look good in orange. Karma coming for the whole family. What happens now? I asked Agent Roberts. With your testimony? They're looking at significant federal time. Your sister too, though she might get a lighter sentence as a cooperating witness. Is she cooperating? No. She's still claiming innocence. Says you framed them all out of jealousy. I laughed, a hollow sound. Of course she is. There's one more thing. Agent Roberts pulled out a final document. We found this in their house. It's a recording of your mother from about a month ago. I think you should hear it. She pressed play. Lindsay's always been our backup plan. So responsible, so successful. When things get tight, we just use her information. She's too afraid of losing us to ever say no. Besides, she owes us. We gave her life. She's our insurance policy. The recording stopped. The room felt airless. Insurance policy, I repeated numbly. Carson's hand found mine under the table. You're not their insurance policy anymore. Agent Roberts slid a statement form across the table. Ready to tell your story? I picked up the pen, thinking of Grandma Rose dying in shame, of Aunt Paula's quiet confession, of every family member they'd exploited, of 17-year-old me, crying over destroyed credit. Yes, I said, starting to write. I'm ready to tell everything. The courthouse was packed for the sentencing hearing. I sat in the front row with Carson, watching my parents and Lily in their matching orange jumpsuits. Mom kept trying to catch my eye. I stared straight ahead. All rise, the bailiff called. Judge Martinez took her seat, reviewing the papers before her. This is one of the most egregious cases of familial financial fraud I've seen in my 20 years on the bench. Mom started crying softly. Lily's lawyer patted her hand. The evidence shows a systematic pattern of identity theft and fraud spanning 2 decades, the judge continued. Multiple victims, all family members. The defendants preyed upon the trust and loyalty of their own relatives. Dad's attorney stood up. Your Honor, my clients recognize their mistakes. Mistakes? Judge Martinez cut him off. Mr. Wallace deliberately stole his mother's identity while she suffered from dementia. Mrs. Virginia orchestrated elaborate schemes to defraud her own daughter. And young Lily here helped target vulnerable family members for her own profit. These weren't mistakes. These were calculated crimes. The judge turned to my parents. Would you like to make a statement before sentencing? Mom stood, dabbing her eyes. Your Honor, everything we did was for our family, for our daughters. We only wanted to give Lily everything she wanted, I interrupted, standing up, while stealing from me and everyone else. Order, Judge Martinez warned, but let me continue. You stole my identity when I was 17. You destroyed Grandma Rose's final years. You betrayed every person who ever trusted you, and you're still lying about why. Mom's face hardened. We gave you everything. You gave me trauma, I shot back. You gave me trust issues. You gave me years of therapy bills. Enough. Judge Martinez banged her gavel. Mrs. Virginia, Mr. Wallace, the court sentences you each to 8 years in federal prison, plus restitution of all stolen funds. Mom collapsed into her chair. Dad's face went red. As for you, Lily, the judge continued, despite your youth, you were an active participant in these schemes. 4 years in federal prison, plus restitution. No! Lily shrieked. You can't. My followers will have to find someone else to influence, Judge Martinez finished. Bailiff, remove the defendants. As they were led away, Mom turned to me one last time. Lindsay, please, we're still your family. I stood up, my voice carrying across the courtroom. No, you're just people who share my DNA, and now you're convicted felons. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed us. Carson acted as a buffer while I pushed through to my car. Lindsay, how does it feel to send your family to prison? Any comment on Lily's social media claims that you framed them? Will you be writing a book about this? I stopped at my car door. My only comment is this: financial abuse is still abuse. Family or not, no one has the right to steal your identity or exploit your trust. If you're a victim, speak up. Don't let shame keep you silent. Back home, I opened my laptop to find emails from other fraud victims. Your story gave me courage to report my brother. Thank you for showing me it's okay to hold family accountable. You helped me understand it wasn't my fault. Carson brought over dinner and wine. How are you holding up? Look at this. I showed him my phone. Lily's final Instagram post before being taken into custody. My sister destroyed our family because she was jealous of my success, but the truth will come out. I'll be writing a tell-all book from prison. Free Lily, now serve the real story. The comments were disabled, but the likes kept dropping. She still doesn't get it, I said, putting down my phone. None of them do, because that would require admitting they're wrong. Carson poured more wine. Some people never can. My phone rang. Agent Roberts. Lindsay, we found more victims. 3 distant cousins, an elderly aunt. Would you be willing to help us contact them? Sometimes it's easier hearing it from family. I thought about Grandma Rose, about 17-year-old me, about every person they'd betrayed while smiling. Yes, I said, they deserve to know the truth. After hanging up, I blocked every number associated with my parents and Lily. Carson watched me do it. No more olive branches? He asked. No more branches, no more trees, no more forest. I deleted their contact info. They made their choices. Now they can live with them. And you? I looked at the emails from other victims, at the community of survivors forming. I'm going to live for me. Finally. The sun was setting outside my window, casting long shadows. But for the first time in years, I felt light. The morning sun streamed through my office window as I finished typing my final email to Agent Roberts. The victim support group had grown to over 30 people, all family members, all carrying similar stories of betrayal and fraud. My phone buzzed, a text from Carson. Turn on Channel 7 now. I pulled up the local news live stream on my laptop. There was Lily, being interviewed from prison in her orange jumpsuit. I've had time to reflect, she was saying, tears streaming down her face. I want to apologize to everyone we hurt, especially my sister Lindsay. She tried to warn us, tried to stop us, and we just kept taking advantage. I'm so sorry. Too little, too late, I muttered, closing the stream. Another message from Carson. Don't believe her crocodile tears. Check her commissary account. I logged into the prison system website. Sure enough, sympathetic followers had been sending Lily money after her emotional interview. Over $2,000 already. My office phone rang. A familiar number. Hi, Aunt Paula, I answered. How was the support group meeting? Powerful, she said. Robert shared his story. Did you know they used his identity to buy that boat they always bragged about? The one they said was a business investment? God. We're all filing civil suits, she continued. The lawyers think we can recover most of the stolen money. Will you testify again? Before I could answer, my email pinged. A message from Mom, somehow sent from prison. Dearest Lindsay, your father had a health scare yesterday. The doctors say his heart is weak. Please reconsider your position. We're still your parents. Family forgives. Love, Mom. I forwarded it to Agent Roberts with one line. Add emotional manipulation to their tactics. Lindsay, Aunt Paula was still waiting. Will you help us? I thought about Mom's letter, about Lily's fake tears, about every manipulation, every lie, every stolen dollar. Yes, I said, I'll testify. They need to face everything they've done. My assistant knocked on my door. Your next appointment is here. A young woman entered, barely 20, clutching a folder of bank statements. One of the victims Agent Roberts had found. "Thanks for meeting me," she said nervously. "I didn't know where else to go. My mom opened credit cards in my name and—" "I know," I interrupted gently. "Mine did too. Let me show you how to fight back." As I walked her through the steps, filing reports, contacting banks, documenting everything, I saw my younger self in her trembling hands and uncertain eyes. My phone lit up with another prison email notification. Dad this time. "Your mother's crying herself to sleep every night. Lily's struggling. Is this what you wanted? To destroy your family?" Delete. The young woman looked up from her paperwork. "Aren't you scared? Going against your whole family like this?" "No," I said, surprising myself with how true it felt. "I'm not scared anymore. They don't have power over me." "How?" "Because I finally realized something. Family isn't about blood or obligation. It's about respect, trust, and genuine love. They never gave me any of those things." My phone buzzed. Carson sending a link to Lily's latest prison interview. My sister's forgiveness would mean everything. Delete. "They'll keep trying," I told the young woman. "They'll guilt you, manipulate you, claim you're destroying the family. But remember, you didn't destroy anything. You're just exposing what was already broken." She nodded, wiping away tears. "Thank you." After she left, I called Carson. "You okay?" he asked. "Saw Lily's performance?" "I'm better than okay," I said, looking at the sunset through my window. "I'm free. No regrets." I thought about the support group, growing stronger every week. About the young woman who just left my office, armed with knowledge and courage. About my own heart, finally beating without fear. "They say karma comes for everyone eventually," I said. "Sometimes it just needs a little help." "And sometimes," Carson added, "karma looks a lot like truth." I smiled, watching the last rays of sun paint the sky. "Yeah, it really does." My phone lit up one final time. Another prison email. I deleted it without reading, then blocked the entire domain. Some chapters needed to end for others to begin, and this ending? It felt exactly right.